Hi, and thanks for tuning in to the January 2015 Real Estate Market Update for Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is Tigo Venturi with the Venturi team and Keller Williams Realty. You're probably seen this on our website or on YouTube. But wanted to give you some updates. It's a little bit late this month. Tracy and I were out at the big Keller Williams National Convention, so got a lot of information. There's always a huge market update we go through nationally and internationally in particular as well. So it was some good information. But let's look at Albuquerque here and go through some of these numbers. I'm going to look down here. The first chart we're looking at are median prices, and you can see this is a 2-year month over month, or each bar is a month here. Not a whole lot to report here. Prices hold steady. The last update I saw was maybe 2% somewhere of appreciation. This is median price, which isn't really appreciation or anything, but kind of gives you an idea that prices are pretty much steady. The number of homes sold, and this is the next chart we're going to look at. And again, you can see the trend line here is pretty steady, actually a little bit, maybe even down a little bit. However, this year we had just over 600 homes, 606 versus 613 versus 571. Again, that's January over the last few years. So, we're steady. Again, plenty of activity. The big thing that I thought was interesting to see was the supply versus demand. What we've seen is a continuing decline in supply. We're just around, to put this in perspective, there's about 6,000 homes that are currently on the market in this search, and this is the whole Albuquerque area, including Rio Rancho and all the outlying, metropolitan Albuquerque communities. So about 6,000 homes, and you can see the supply has actually been going down, and demand has, as we looked at earlier, stayed steady. So I thought that was an interesting trend. But what that has caused is, on this chart, is the month's supply of inventory. And let me put on the trend line there. There it is. So you can see, our inventory has been declining over the past couple of years, and right now we're holding for January is actually under 5 months supply, which is rare. We haven't seen that in a long time, but around 6 months supply is a good number. Above or below that, that's a healthy market. And the last chart I'm going to throw up here is days on market. One thing we did see in January is a bump up in days on market, which is right around 82. So that's average days on market, for homes that have sold, and has nothing to do with homes that are on the market that didn't sell. This is only homes that have actually sold and closed. So let's, I want to jump over to an interesting chart I saw from our convention, was the affordability index. I thought this is a really interesting chart. And, of course, in the 80s, interest rates were ridiculous. It really had a bump up. But if you look at the trend line here, we went above it back in the go-go days, and now we're back below that. And right now we're saying it's about 15% of your income, where in 2012, it was even lower than that. Of course, it was pretty scary to buy a home in 2012, even though a lot of people did it and probably are doing quite well. This one shows the actual percentages. So the historic was 21% versus 15% this year, and it was closer to 14 last year. And then this chart I think is interesting. It kind of puts the affordability in perspective, looking at a 1989 house versus a 2014 house, and the median price was $94,000 versus $208,000, but interest rates were 10%. Now remember that, and that was a good rate in the day, and now they're around 4% or even less. And then your adjusted payment for $89 was $1,500, almost $1,600 a month, versus today at $995. So it's just kind of an interesting thing on affordability, and that housing does seem to be affordable right now, especially when you compare it to rent rates. So that's that's another thing you can do. But hopefully this is helpful. Not saying everybody needs to buy a house. We're just saying that get the right information and understand what's going on in the market. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us here on the website or call our team line at 933-6881.